Coach, first off, big 2 points for your club. Can you just touch on that, and then also just what this whole weekend and tonight meant to your team and the fans here?
I like the fact that we didn't really think of this weekend before this weekend, and it was all about on Friday yesterday, and then it really start to become real for us. I think a lot of people were talking about it way before, but we had other games to deal with, and I like the fact that on Friday it was clear, we're here, we're focused on that, and we saw how big it is. But at the same time, I think the players made it small enough on the ice in terms of the focus that we played our game. We just played a very hard game, and just like we did last game. But there was a lot of enthusiasm. Like I said, just being home, a lot of enthusiasm, and the fact that this was so well organized. This is really, really enjoyable. I'd never lived it before. I watched it on TV a few times, but it's at the ice level, it was special. It really was. I think the NHL and everybody, from our team and the city did an unbelievable job making this real success at all levels.
Are you starting to see more of the team that you saw last year in just terms of the little things of how you like to get things done during the game?
Well, yes and no, in the sense that we've played games like this. We just didn't win them. We lost them 2-1, and we've had quite a few of those where, that goal, the tip-in doesn't go in, and the breakaway we got, didn't go in, and the goalie made a save, or we missed the net, missed the open net. So we had a lot of those games. They just didn't turn our way, and I kept saying, those games will turn our way if we stick to what we are, what we do, and that's what's happening. And it's obviously harder to get that on the road against teams that were basically all hot at the moment we caught them too. So it's a mix of things, but really what I like now lately is the chemistry that we're building. We're basically in transition for a little while where Duchesne comes in, and where does he fit, who would he play with, and Bobby was out for a month, and then he comes back, but he doesn't have his game yet. Smitty, the same thing. So by the time you try them, they're not at their best yet, and you try them again with the same guys, other guys, and Borowiecki out, and Wideman out, and getting Harper and Shabbat, in and there. So trying to figure out our new chemistry, our new players, where they fit. And I think right now you could see the last 2 games. I really like the lines. I like the pairings. I like where the guys have their roles right now, and it's clicking. So in that respect, I think we're definitely gaining in chemistry wise.
We'll stay in the back left.
Coach, hier matin, on parlait à quel point une victoire dans un match comme ça peut amener de l'enthousiasme à une équipe. Qu'est-ce que cette victoire, quel genre d'enthousiasme ça peut amener, et aussi est-ce que ça peut monter votre confiance? Qu'est-ce que vous avez?
C'est sûr qu'à chaque match que tu gagnes, tu gagnes la confiance, mais si tu gagnes des matchs de mauvaise façon, tu as des points, tu es content, mais je pense que ce qui est bon, c'est que les 2 derniers matchs, on les a gagnés de la bonne façon. Mais comme j'ai dit en anglais, on en a joué plein de matchs comme ça, qu'on a perdu 2-1, où les buts rentraient pas, puis 2-3 cm d'un bord, c'est dans le filet, l'autre bord, ça l'est pas. Fait que je pense que nous autres, l'important, c'était de ne pas paniquer de l'intérieur sur comment on joue, qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire. On s'ajuste tout le temps à l'adversaire, mais on a fondamentalement notre façon de faire les choses qui fonctionne bien pour nous autres. Et puis, dans notre période de transition avec les différents joueurs qu'on a eus, c'était plus dur de s'acclimater, puis sur la route. Mais une chose était certaine, c'est que tout ce qui se passait à l'extérieur, ça se passait vraiment juste à l'extérieur. De l'intérieur, même dans les moments difficiles, on n'a pas vécu de moments difficiles à l'intérieur de la chambre, dans les relations. Fait que des fois, c'est un peu drôle d'entendre des choses. Là. Les gens essaient de voir des choses où il n'y en a pas. Alors, je pense qu'on le voit très bien. C'est une chambre qui est très saine, autant que l'année dernière, avec beaucoup de... Mais on a des nouveaux joueurs. Puis les nouveaux joueurs qui ont besoin de s'acclimater à notre groupe. Même chose avec les autres joueurs, s'acclimater avec les nouveaux joueurs. Puis c'est en train de se passer. C'est un processus, ça prend du temps, puis on le vit en ce moment.
Front right, Arpin.
Guillaume, taking a chance, you'll know this off the top of your head. How many shots did you give up from the slot area tonight? Can you, or if not, can you give an estimate?
No, I'd have to go check. We watch the video after every game, so know exactly what our scoring chances, what or not, where they're from, and I thought we did a very good job taking that away. But like I said before, we've played many games like that during our stretch where we weren't winning, where we weren't given more. We're just the ones that just seem to find their way in their net, and if we look at the game in Anaheim, we gave them 22 shots in their barn, and I think very little scoring chances, and we just couldn't bury it. So I think, a game like tonight, the previous game, the same plays, the the same way, and it's going in. The guys have confidence, and to be honest with you, to be back home, it makes a big difference in your enthusiasm and your confidence because you feel you're not the one being attacked. You're actually the aggressor, and that's what crowds do, and that's what being home does. And can't get a bigger crowd than today. We felt it from the ice level. And that gives you a lot of jump, a lot of enthusiasm, and I think our players came in not seeing this as a threat. There's a lot of things that you can look at as distractions, but we didn't see it as that. We saw it as something that's a great challenge for us, and it's a positive one, and I think that's the way we felt going on the ice, and it was like that for 60 minutes for us.
Back-to-back goals for Bobby Ryan now. Are you feeling you're starting to see the player he was at the start of the season before the hand injury?
Yeah, the last month of last season, he was outstanding. The playoffs, he was outstanding. The first month, he was outstanding with that line, and then he got injured. And you'd love to have the guy back, but when he's back, he's not himself. As when you're injured for a long period of time, especially at the beginning, it's the league keeps going up and you're not practicing, so you're going down. So every time you try to catch up, the league keeps, so it takes time. So it took him a few weeks to get his game back. And it's been a few games now where even in San Jose, that's a goal. I don't know why that didn't count, but it didn't count. But he's the one that scored it, so you can count that one as part of him coming along here. And I think that's great chemistry their line have, and definitely he's a big part of it. He's had terrific games the last games too. So I mean, he's definitely looking like, yeah, you're absolutely right. He's looking like the guy we saw at the end of the year last year in the first month, and it's a lot about the legs for Bobby. When he's got his legs, and then he's gonna be great. And when he came back, let's say it now, but his finger that wasn't good. He came back just because he wanted to be back with the boys, but he couldn't shoot, couldn't pass, couldn't do anything, and it was really hurting him. So that's something that he had to play through. He knew that it wasn't dangerous, but it was more than annoying. It took away a lot of his shooting abilities and his passing abilities, and now everything's great. So the legs are there, the hands are there, so the mind is there, and we're all benefiting from it for sure.
Last question, back right.
Coach, you touched on it earlier on Francais about Erik Karlsson's game.
Yeah.
You said the other day he was close to 100%.
Yeah.
Was he 100% tonight?
Oh, this was 100 tonight. Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. And when Erik defends that well and that hard, the rest of his game follows, and he was outstanding tonight. And we definitely rely on our captain, we rely on our goalies, we rely on on all our players. But when those leaders are going like like Erik was going, like our goalie was going, and Duchesne had a terrific game again tonight. So I think it's 5 in a row now that he's looking terrific. So every day you could see him. So I think it's Erik, it's our goalie, it's Duchesne, those guys, and I like all our lines and our pairings. So it's really something now where I feel we're moving in the right direction. And mainly it's shape for Erik, it's timing, but it's also chemistry with the rest of the players too.